Me when I have to listen to Meghan Trainor. I don't want to! We are here to listen to Charli's new album. I am interested in this. I've been kind of more interested in what she has to say about the album and what people are responding to it versus the songs that I've heard themselves. It's been pretty forgettable to me. Rock music is the one song that has grown on me over time. I can tolerate it until we get to the rock music part. Then I'm like, okay, turn it off. But I like the part about me and my friends. We go out. There's something communal about like making art together, enjoying the process. And I know that this album is very much like about a response to that, to the idea that she is one of those artists that really lives, breathes, and dies by her art. So I'm curious to see how that translates through this record. Wink Wink is the worst thing I've heard so far. Like truly, and that's the one everybody loves. Baffling to me. Baffling. But I'm going to listen with an open heart and an open mind. I want to like it because I like Charli and I think that she's clever, and I like a slightly left of center pop girl, an atypical diva, someone that likes to challenge the form, and when she does it, she is one of the best at doing it. So I'm really hoping there's more to this than Spring Summer 26. I fear that it's going to be a collection of her Substack thoughts put to music, which is kind of not what I would like to see. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Zach. I am the Swiftologist. I make thoughtful weekly videos about pop culture, and today I am reacting to Charli XCX's brand new album, Music, Fashion, and Film. I want to remind everyone before this video starts, this is a reaction. These are not fully formed thoughts on the album. It is the first time I'm hearing it, and it is the first response. I have to do this because people go psycho, and they do Well Actually, and they try to correct everything that I got wrong. It's a first listen. If you are watching this in 2 months, of course, there is more context to the album that I now understand. But right now, I'm hearing it for the first time. So everybody, let's just be normal about that. And if you want to see the full version of this reaction, because I simply cannot post the full unedited thing here because of YouTube, patreon.com/Swiftologist. That's where all of my unedited reactions are. If you're not interested in the podcast, you can literally just subscribe to the Swiftologist only tier, which is pretty much all my reactions and a bunch of other stuff, actually. So you can go check that out. My full Gracie Abrams reaction is there. My Charli reaction is there. And next week, you'll see my Ariana Grande reaction. So there's a big back catalog of stuff on there for you to catch up on if you're interested. Maisie Peters, lots of things that actually don't even get mentioned on the TikTok or the YouTube at all. And I'm almost at 200,000 subscribers, gag. So if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, I know you keep coming back here to hear from me. So you might as well hit subscribe.
Me and my friends.
I can vibe with this song more when I view it as an artistic statement for the album, like a thesis.
I'm really banging my head. I'm really hurting my neck.
I hate that. Thanks so much. Up next is Spring Summer 26. I really itch bald when I heard this one. It's the most streamed song from the album. People didn't really like rock music, huh? They wrote essays about it, but people weren't streaming. Now this is where it just gets so stupid. You kind of have to buy into Charli and put the kind of cringe element aside to get into it. I'm having a different appreciation for it hearing it now, I'll give her that. The thing that I kind of appreciate about Spring Summer 26 is that it does go into the specific existential dread of the now moment. Like, it seems like so many bad things are happening, and it also just seems like there's nothing that we can do about it. We are walking on a runway that goes straight to hell. And the way the song ends, like, it doesn't really have a resolution. It's not hopeful. It doesn't propose that we can solve the problem. It also doesn't have a searing indictment of the problem. It's a song that betrays kind of a lack of understanding about what the problems even are to begin with, to go about solving them. I don't know if this is intentional or not, but a certain kind of like out of touchness or sense of remove that this song creates that I think is very emblematic of the moment in culture that we're in. Okay, so those are the two songs that I have already heard. Now it is time to hear the songs I haven't heard. Up first is a song called Card Declined.
Let's go shopping. I'll buy a handbag. I'll buy some shoes. I'll buy a smile.
She loves to name a brand. I see what she's getting at. I just don't like the way it sounds.
Card declined. Let's go shopping. I'll buy a handbag.
I know they're going to be writing think pieces about this song. This is the song that you want to make 3.5 minutes long? Of all the songs on the album?
I keep thinking about you every single day.
This is her hard feelings, loveless, I guess. I like this last part of the song more than the rest of it. I kind of know what this album is. It's delivering commentary. It's Charli's hot takes, essentially. There is interesting dissonance here, again, expanding on the cultural moment that I was talking about in Spring Summer 26, between all we can do, essentially, in this hell on earth is buy our way out of it. Like, we are the eternal consumers. The solution to everything is buy something. I'll buy some shoes, I'll buy a smile. It's like the only way out is to purchase. And that's an interesting commentary on capitalism. It's not a new insight, but is this an insight that is often delivered to us in pop music? No. So I do have to give that to Charli. I don't really want to listen to this. It's not very listenable. What I'm gathering about this album is it's navel-gazing in the sense that it's really what Charli wanted to make. And that's how artists should interact with their work. But like as a pop star, there is an additional consideration, which is like, are people going to want to listen to this? Your points are really interesting and amazing. The challenge of being a pop star is having them land and stick and stay with people. Something like Spring Summer 26 is definitely more sticky than this. Okay, up next is a song called Camera.
Chase the stars, yeah, the ones in your eyes. But let's be honest, I'm talking about the ones on the pavement. 'Cause that look, it's a bullet. It makes me question what I'm doing.
Okay. Now this is more like it. I know she really views her work as always in response to a thing that came before it, so this feels like a very clear Brat commentary to me. I like this. This is clever. This is very Charli at her best, I feel. Let's walk through this song because I think there's a lot of complex ideas going on here. This to me sounds like she's doing the thing of, okay, I thought I was going to get dropped with Brat. Like, I thought it was over for me. I thought that my pop star aspirations were kind of never going to happen. Like, main pop girl was not going to be my thing. All of a sudden, it clicks and she gets it. And she is now going, it's a bullet. You know, it makes me question what I'm doing. Do I want to make music? If I try to be, am I stupid if I try to be a girl on the screen when I'm turning 34? It happened for her later than it happened for everybody else, right? So she's already spent a considerable amount of her life and time trying to be a pop star. And also most of it didn't work as well as she wanted it to. So the moment of it working is very brief. And I can see how when it is brief like that and fleeting and you don't know if it's going to last, you go, was it worth it? Like, did it feel that good? Maybe not, because it makes her want to throw her life away. All the music, not a single kiss goodbye, like, that's it. It makes me want to throw my life away. I feel different on the mark, something new and undiscovered, and something kind of violent, daring to fail and being ugly. I'm inspired and alive. So before we get to music, fashion, and film, we have like a very sharp turn from Charli towards acting and directing and screenwriting, things that are really different from being a pop girl because they are not necessarily about translating your intimate personal experiences into confessional art that people will then use as essentially like a tabloid or a gossip rag to make assessments and judgments about who you are and what you believe and what kind of person or artist you wish to be. To be an actor is to disappear a little bit while taking parts of yourself in it. And I think that Charli finds something inspiring about the process of disappearing, because being a pop star is so much about like exposure. She's saying that there's something kind of violent in daring to fail and be ugly. You're not incentivized to fail or be ugly as a pop star. Everything has to be gorgeous and you have to be getting number ones all the time. And if you don't, you're in the Kia asylum. I don't feel embarrassed even if I suck. I'm always craving an experience that feels dangerous, and maybe this is it. Maybe it's what I need. It's the only way to feel like I'm not actually me. I think that being a pop star is necessarily a very narcissistic experience. You are always talking about yourself. You are always being asked about yourself. You are always trying to translate yourself into a product that gets sold. That is an all-encompassing experience. And I'm sure that it ends up feeling like a really abstracted, cherry-picked version of a character of you that's not real. And you get used to running away from yourself in all these different forms. And I think that's what Charli's talking about here. I'm going to have to cook on this a little bit longer to fully get into it, but from a first listen and a first glance at the lyrics, I'm very compelled by this. Interesting. The next song is called 2007. This is really giving an interlude.
Pictures on the sofa become pictures on the screen. All from your apartment, you can shine bright like a star.
Oh, I like that.
I can take you to
It's like the experience of how the mechanisms of being a pop star is different now. This sounds like a yearning for the MySpace era, like an early internet era where blowing up literally on your sofa from your house was possible with MySpace. My first thought is, do I like this? I'm not sure, but I'm starting to see the good of it. I can think that it's good without liking it. Did you know that? Did you know that? I think, and this is my interpretation, so I could be totally off base here, I can take you to heaven like it's 2007, pop star in my bedroom, pictures on the sofa become pictures on the screen, all from your apartment, you can shine bright like a star. So I know that Charli definitely grew up with like that MySpace era in the UK of people like Marina and Lily Allen who really managed to become pop stars from their sofas, from their bedrooms seemingly. Bedroom pop was such a thing. And it doesn't work like that anymore. Like even people who are discovered or who blow up overnight, like a Chapel Roan, you wouldn't really say pictures on the sofa become pictures on the screen. Like what we're interested in Chapel is the maximalism and the escapism. It's not necessarily that she's a real person that you could be just like, which is kind of how it felt when the real musicians started breaking through. You know who else was a MySpace musician that kind of broke through in that same way? Taylor Swift. This is Taylor Swift's journey to stardom, by the way. When Charli started to pop off, the internet had changed, but this is really giving like a specific period of the internet where it seemed like anything could happen. And it felt like the internet was actually like a really amazing tool for creativity and connection before it got completely taken over by the algorithm, and it was more of a place where you chose how you interacted with it. Like if you were trying to find music, you didn't have Spotify serving you an algorithm, you would be on a forum, in a message board, reading other real people writing about something that, you know, was written in a convincing enough way that you went to go listen to it yourself. Or you saw it on MySpace. You went to a friend's page and you saw that their song that was playing was this. That's different to the algorithmic intervention of taste that we have. I like this as a commentary on what I'm trying to do here is that thing that we used to have on the internet, that previous form of connection. Okay, up next is a song called I'm Afraid.
Happiness came in a box, never meant that much before.
Why is this giving Welcome to the Black Parade? We do know that sympathy is, in fact, a knife.
I replicate the things I learn. I don't blame him though. I'm a wife, I'm a kid, I'm destroyed, I'm a bitch, I'm too drunk, I can't sleep, I can't feel, I'm afraid, I'm afraid, I'm afraid, I'm nothing without him. What if I ruin it? Take the ring, take the ring. I'm a wife, I'm a kid, I'm destroyed, I'm a bitch, I'm too drunk, I can't sleep, I can't feel anything. I'm afraid, I'm nothing without him. What if I ruin it? Take the ring, take the ring. It's complicated how I feel. No, I'm not supposed to say, but I have to get it out so my insides don't turn black.
Okay, this is another comment on her creativity, I think.
I'm a better artist now. An excuse I tell myself to act selfishly. I'm a wife, I'm a kid, I'm destroyed, I'm a bitch, I'm too drunk, I can't sleep, I can't feel.
This is like a pop star's workbook. It's like field notes on being a pop star. Oh, I want to write that down for my review. That was very clever and very insightful. The second verse is where I'm very interested. It's complicated how I feel. I know I'm not supposed to say, but I have to get it out so my insides don't turn black. All this pain makes me believe I'm a better artist now, an excuse I tell myself to act selfishly. This is the tortured artist's conundrum. It's like the more tortured I am, the worse I feel, the better art I make. Therefore, I need to indulge those impulses, those antisocial, destructive impulses in order to make good work. This is the classic argument of like, do you need to be tortured and miserable in order to make good stuff? And I think any good songwriter is going to reckon with that at some point. That is a very sinister follow-up to I might say something stupid. I do like this idea of a field notebook of being a pop star, of showing us the process. It is something that is so heavily guarded. And in order to make pop magic look authentic and organic, you necessarily have to put it behind a curtain. There's like a pop stage version of you and then like who you are. And pop always gets really interesting when I think the curtain starts to open a little bit. The reason why Charli is special is because she lets it open a lot more than anyone else does. Don't ever mistake her candor for total transparency. That's not what it is. It's an artistic choice. It's not like emotional exhibitionism. Okay, the next song is called Yeah. Me when I have to listen to Meghan Trainor. I don't want to!
Yeah.
Okay, this is kind of cunt. This and rock music together could have made a really great song. If we made one real song out of these two like sketches.
Now you wanna feel it. Yeah.
I do want to feel it. I'm not going to lie about that. Okay, that was kind of brilliant. Looking at the lyrics on the page, I'm like, there's no way this is brilliant. But like when I listen to it, I don't want to. Now I want to feel it. Yeah, now I want to feel it. You don't want to. You're so predictable. Wait, now you want to feel it. Is this not the tension and release of like a pop star and their audience? It's always a referendum of whether people want to feel it from you as a pop star. Every single time you put out a new single, you launch a new era, you enter a new era of marketing, you are wondering if these people want to feel it. And sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. Look at my journey with this album so far. I didn't want to feel it with the pre-release singles. And then she goes, wait, now you want to feel it. You're so predictable. The artist has the capacity to surprise. Wait, now you want to feel it. Now you want to feel it. Now I want to feel it. And sometimes as well, I think part of the part where she's like, I don't want to feel it. When you have to sell something that you don't like. Charli had to do a lot of that. My immediate thought is when she went on that Chinese audition singing show and she really didn't want to do that, but like, I don't know, I guess the checks weren't clearing or there was nothing else going on and she went there and made the fool of herself. And I don't want to do it. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. Wait, here's another pop star assignment that I've been given. I want to do that. And you want it too. Interesting commentary on the relationship of giving and taking with an artist and their audience. Okay, next is Wink Wink. Now, I'm not coming around on this song. This is fucking so stupid. This is so stupid. No, here I don't get you. Here I really don't get you. The chorus is catchy. I heard that she was originally planning on putting out Camera as a single and she swapped it with Wink Wink. I will say all these songs make much more sense in the context of the album itself. Blissfully, it's only 2 minutes long. Thank you. Okay, up next is a song called Persona. Ooh, I have to immediately say the Taylor T. This? Am I loca? I mean, it could very much be about someone else. This is a great diss track for whoever it is. I do respect the commitment to the bit. Now that's Persona. I'm having way more fun with the interpretation of it being about Taylor. It's probably about one of her more like close friends in the indie art scene. It's someone who she sees herself in, and that person also sees themselves in her. For the illiterate people out there, I'm not saying that definitively Persona is about Taylor Swift. I was just having fun and riffing off the top of my head. It's not that serious, okay? I was just having a good time. I'm sure I'm wrong. I hate that I have to clarify that, but whatever. Next is Magic Metal Montana. Madeline mentioned. Okay. You don't often hear a pop girl like writing a love letter to her producer. The producer is usually a hired gun. Again, that's kind of not a song that I like. Again, this album being a field notebook of what it is like to be a pop star and to make pop music, The way that Charli does it is kind of different to how the other pop girls do it. You have a hero collaborator that really helps shape your vision and your sound. And like sound is so much more important to Charli than it is to other pop stars, I think, even more than story or persona or performance. Like the sound is very deeply important to the way that she expresses herself. And A.G. Cook speaks a language that only she can share with him through music. And she said before that they don't really talk. The way they talk is through the music. That's how they show each other their affection and discuss their creativity. So it's sweet to imagine him producing this song while she's writing it. And yeah, the pop producer generally is a hired gun. Like it's a fairly interchangeable role. Of course, there are certain producers that have signatures and artists that have, consistent relationships with producers Taylor and Jack Antonoff, Olivia and Dan Nigro, but they're more assistants or editors or co-collaborators. I think that AG and Charli are like one. The way that they operate like as musicians, I don't really see Charli making music without him. I'm sure she could, but they feel like they've created a separate entity that's the two of them together. Next up, we have finally, we have the very last track, No One Lasts Forever.
Since everyone knows my name, all the parties got better. So
Well, yes.
everyone thinks I've got a problem.
Right, she's talked about really struggling with the character of Brat.
So now I'm sitting
Who thinks that you're gonna do that? I never thought that. I thought you were a snorter on the ejector.
Hear me assuring you that oblivion is freedom.
Oblivion is freedom is kind of the thesis statement of this album, I've realized. You know what? I think as a pop girl, leaning into oblivion is freedom can really stop you from tangling yourself in the specific knots that are brought onto pop girldom, which is where you have to carry a narrative for a long period of time. You have to sustain people's connection to you while iterating in a way that makes sense to them and not alienating them. It's a lot of competing things going on forever. And what you're always trying to do as a pop girl is be immortal now, is like be the biggest pop girl there ever was, is to have a moment. But a moment is a moment. It doesn't last forever. Oblivion is freedom. When Charli can accept that Brat was a moment, it was a passing moment in time, that's what lets her move on to make something else and more interesting. I think the artists that really struggle and get lost are the ones that cannot accept that oblivion is freedom. It's the ones that like keep reaching back to try and revive something that is dead because that version of themselves is dead. Katy Perry is like the prime example of this. She is someone who cannot accept that oblivion is freedom. She's very dearly holding on to some idea of what other people's idea of her is, and it's killing her creativity. And they are dead, they are gone, no one lasts forever. When you embrace that as an artist, the real power is always being able to start over. And like as a pop girl, if you want to make music that lasts, you have to accept that, sometimes you're going to flop. Sometimes it's going to suck. Like sometimes you feel like you're terrible and sometimes you feel like you're better than everybody else in the room. But it's about being able to ride the transition between those two feelings. That's what's going to sustain your career as a pop star. A lot of pop stars should listen to this advice that Charli is offering. It's very compelling. And that brings us to the end of the album. You'll hear more from me in my review of this album, which should be, by the time you're watching this, it should be up on TikTok. My reviews are a little too long to put on YouTube. They're usually like 6 or 7 minutes. So there will be a cut down version on YouTube and Instagram. And if you want to go see the full thing on TikTok, go see it. If you don't have TikTok, too bad. But, overall, I'm very surprised. I was expecting this to be very superficial and shallow, and it was not those things at all. I think there's a lot of interesting ideas going on here. When I pivoted into viewing it as like a field notebook for a pop star, it became a lot more interesting to me. This is not easy listening. I mean, actually it is easy listening, it kind of breezes over you. It doesn't demand much from you, but as with the best Charli work, it is provocational. You don't really realize you're being provoked, but it's provoking you. And I have to give my claps. Is it something that I like? Is this something that I want to listen to all the time? Probably not. There are moments that I would revisit. She did the thing that you weren't expecting her to do, which is what she always does. And I guess maybe the single rollout was kind of genius because it really had me thinking that I knew what was coming. And yet I didn't. I sort of did, but it was expanded on in so many better ways as a full-length project. I still think those 3 songs that were the singles are like the weakest moments on the album. I'm really curious to hear what you think about it. Do you think this is good? Do you think it's interesting? Did it surprise you? What are the standout tracks? And if you want to see the full version of this reaction, unedited for copyright, patreon.com/Swiftologist. If you don't want to subscribe to the podcast, there is a Swiftologist only tier where you will get all my reactions to most pop albums that you want me to react to. I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.